A woman that I met, oh my goodness, when I left her, I'm like, how do you find the time to do, how do you guys find the time to do all that you do? And she gives up her vacation time. That's what she uses, her vacation time, to do all the service that she does. And she not only does things locally, but she does volunteer service nationally and globally, and she just gets me exhausted listening to all her stories, and they are incredible stories. I was so pleased to meet our Jefferson Award winner from York County. This is the story of Lori Cutshall.
This moss here, the water line was above the entrance gate to their house.
Lori Cutshall of York County saw firsthand the devastation of Hurricane Katrina.
One of the FEMA men that I was with said, look up in the trees. And I couldn't believe it, there were boats in trees.
She joined the Red Cross after what she saw and heard in the news.
People on TV saying, isn't there anybody out there that can help us? We don't even have any water. You know, it's been 3 days and we don't have any water. Isn't anybody? So I called the Red Cross and I said, how long would it take to train me? We went around to all the homes and just asked them, what are your needs? What are your most important needs today? And I think if I have any gifts at all, it's of listening. And I try to listen where people are hurting.
For more than 20 years, she's been tending to people in need through the Red Cross.
When Sandy hit, I was called to go to East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania and help set up a shelter there. And these are all women and children that we're talking to.
Lori also volunteers overseas in developing countries.
I started out going to an orphanage in Guatemala, and then I started going on trips to the Mayan highlands, or the Mayan Indians. And there's still villages that have never ever been seen by the outside world.
And closer to home, she's doing her part fighting a problem that's just now getting more exposure.
What I'm most passionate about is the Oasis of Hope.
It's a place children who've been victims of human trafficking can go, a safe house. Lori was surprised to learn it was a problem in the Susquehanna Valley after a conference she attended a few years ago.
I said, well, what happens to the girls when they're picked up? And he proceeded to tell us about a major sting that they had in Harrisburg, and the average girl they picked up was 12. We decided that we were going to have the very first home in Pennsylvania for minor trafficked children. Every time I do something that energizes me, I just take a deep breath and think, wow, you know, what's next? I can't believe, you know, how good this life is, that how good you feel when you help somebody. It's just like a calling that, you know, to help people. And I think everybody has that calling, but most people just don't know where to start. And it starts with one person.
Yeah, and because of that, you know, we're doing a big story on human trafficking coming up next weekend. Shannon's doing that. Put your hands together for Sherry Beck, our Jefferson Award winner from Lancaster County. Lori Cutshall. What am I saying?
I'm really from York County. Wow, this is just a little overwhelming, but first of all, I have to thank all of you. I'm amazed how many turned out to support the volunteers this evening. So I just want to thank all of you for taking your time to be here this evening. So thanks so much. And I would like to thank the panel of judges of WGAL TV, the United Way of York County, and PSECU for this honor of receiving the Jefferson Award. When it comes to community service, and I really find it hard to distinguish between the global community, the national community, and the local community. The only difference I see in community service in those three areas is the time it takes to get there. So no matter where you go, everyone wants to see their family, their children, safe, happy, thriving, and they want to know there's hope out there for them to achieve that. I saw this in India, Guatemala, Central and South America, and right here in the United States at 9/11, Katrina, and on Staten Island in Hurricane Sandy, in tornadoes in Tennessee, floods right here in Pennsylvania, and disasters such as house fires and calamities right here in York County. I attended a meeting where our U.S. Federal Assistant District Attorney was speaking, and he started out his speech with, what's the #1 city in the whole United States for human trafficking of young children? I immediately thought of all the big cities, thinking teenagers run away. I guess New York City, LA, Miami, San Francisco, named all the ones I thought. They said no, it's a city right here in South Central Pennsylvania. So I asked what happens to the girls when they get picked up. He told us the average age of of all the girls that get picked up is 12. Many younger, many much younger, a few older. And he says that all the girls go into the juvenile hall or foster care system. I said at age 12, they're going into juvenile hall for something that was not their fault, that they didn't choose to do. So I said, if this city in South Central Pennsylvania is #1 in the nation, how many homes for these girls are there in Pennsylvania that they get, when they get rescued, that they can blossom and grow into the young women that God intended them to be? He said there are only 6 homes in the whole nation and under 300 beds for girls in this particular age group, particular avenue. So I kind of looked at my friend that was there and I said, well, the next year there's going to be one in Pennsylvania, not really realizing that my conviction was more than just my words. Right now we have the very first house. It took about 2 years. It wasn't the 1 year I hoped for, but we now have the very first 501c3 first house for trafficked minor children in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The very first child we heard about was 5 years old. In the environment of domestic human trafficking of children, I see not only the lives of these children being drastically changed, but I see children's lives being saved from possible death. My goal is to make a lasting difference in at least one person's life, to be a part of something significant, but more importantly, to make sure every person feels significant, to inspire, encourage, and empower. In Matthew it says, I truly tell you, whatever you do for the least of these, you do for me. So it's an honor to do that for him. I would like to thank so many that I've learned from and who have helped me along the way. First, I'd like to thank my son, Jason, who at age 3, and he's quite a bit older now. He's sitting right there with the yellow tie. Quite a bit older now, but who at age 3 would read the evening paper and a book to me while I was cooking supper. And I can remember stirring the pot on the stove and looking over and thinking, wow, when I grow up, I want to be like him. So things were a little turned there. I would also like to thank Alan Vandersloot, who nominated me for this award, and he's over here waving. He's the AFL-CIO Director of Labor Participation, who is a link between York County Labor Unions, York Adams Central Labor Council, and the United Way of York. He provides services and support for workers and families, and he has a never-ending list of opportunities for you if you want to get involved in local community service. I thank the United Way of York County Board of Directors, of which I'm a member representing labor. I thank the AFL-CIO Community Service Program and Carl Dillinger. York Adams Central Labor Council, Dick Boyd, Nancy Stow, and Kitty Hake. Also the Harrisburg Central Labor Council, Dave Gash is director there. The American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Council 13, District Council 90, Dave Philman, sitting to my right, Mary Schwanger, right here in the blue, Carla Insigna, and Nichelle Chivas have all played a real big, important part of my life. I've seen labor unions reach out into their communities, not only with money, but they're out there lending a hand, building relationships, and strengthening families. The York County American Red Cross, of which of which I'm an instructor and give disaster preparedness classes there. Dover Women of Today, York Literacy Council, which I learned English as a second language. And I'm so thankful for them because in all of my endeavors, if I was in India, at a high school teaching 10, 11, 12, I'm not a teacher, but I went through the English as a second language class and they asked me to teach 10th, 11th, and 12th standard. They call them standards instead of grades there. My English as a second language popped right into my bag of helps. Nationally, on Staten Island in New York City, when the New York cabbies came in from working all day to the shelter to help their kids do their homework after being on the city streets all night, English as a second language came in. After my 18-hour day, I could help the cabbies learn English and help their children with their homework. And then right locally in York County, I have a family that came here from Egypt who I tutor English as a second language. And what made me so proud there was I was at work one day and they called, and I think emergency right away. They said, "We had to call you, there's something up." I go, "Oh no, just tell me what it is. Whatever it is, just tell me." They said, "We're in Philadelphia and we've now become citizens of the United States of America." I'm there, wow. That's your Literacy Council led me to that. And just so thankful. I need to thank Adams Electric Cooperative, Dress for Success, Harvest Chapel, and Pathway Community Church. I would also like to thank some friends, John Hedgepath, Holly King, Jim and Bonnie Redding, Cindy Ray Rivers, Dan, I forget his last name. Dan, you know who you are. Joyce Vandersloot, Debbie Colton, and many others, including Linda and Sandy Saunders, who are here tonight. I leave you with a challenge for you to make a real difference in someone's life. Your life begins at the end of your comfort zone. If you're breathing, take a deep breath. If you're breathing, you can do something. God provides you with opportunities each and every day, but it's up to you to take some of them and grab a hold and run. So you're equipped. Some say, "Well, I would like to do something, but I just can't do that." I'm just proof that if you don't think you can do it, you are equipped with everything you need right here, right now, to walk in victory with someone who needs your help. No one else's help. There's someone out there that needs your help. So you are the light of this world. Don't let your personal agenda get in the way of what you are. You were put here on this earth to do something with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So God bless you. Take this challenge and you prepare to have a greatly fulfilled life.
Lori Cutshall, York County. Actually, Lori, we're not done with you. You want to keep rolling your camera there? Come on up here. I have something I need to talk to you about. Don't you hate that when they say, "I got something I want to talk to you about"? So, Jefferson Award winner. All of you in the room, congratulations. But there is, the board selects one local winner to represent their community to be honored at the national ceremonies that happen in Washington, D.C. And you're it. Yes. It is in June. There will be about 60 U.S. senators there, and they will be giving you your award. And then out of the winners, the board selects 5 of these to receive the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Award for outstanding community service benefiting local communities. So Lori Cutshall, you are representing York County and the Susquehanna Valley. Congratulations on that in Washington. Congratulations. And by the way, anyway, I just want to say, it is just humbling, honestly, to hear all those stories in this room. There's so many more. Everyone has a story to share.